Hey everybody, and welcome to the video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Haerfest travel backpack. Kind folks over at Haerfest sent this out for me to test and review, and I've been taking it around with me, using it as my daily carry for the last month or so. And to put it shortly, overall I've been pretty satisfied with it. Starting off right away with the exterior design features, we have just this super simple, clean, minimal look. I have here, this is the large size in the black nylon color. This comes in at $265. They also have a few different fabric options, including a cotton twill and a full leather that comes in at $425. This is a 25-liter capacity bag. They also make a smaller size that comes in right around 20 liters. And overall, the look is just super, super premium. I got the nylon because I wanted that extra water resistance living here in Portland, and I'm definitely glad I did. But you have this nice nylon on the top here, and then down below you have this really, really nice soft touch rubber feel. I've never really had a bag that had this rubbery material on the outside, and you might think it might make it look a little cheaper. Overall though, I think it still has that really nice premium look. So you have that rubber on the bottom and the nylon on the top, and then you do also see some of that rubber come back in some of the other exterior design elements outside of this bottom half. You have full metal zippers, so they're not YKK. If I had to guess, they custom made these for the bag, or for their bags, I should say, because they don't look familiar to me, but you have these really nice pull handles and just a really sturdy metal zipper. And then flipping around here, you can see this really interesting zipper compartment comes in at this angle. This is again something that just gives it that really kind of unique design language that I haven't really seen before. So it comes in at that kind of diagonal look. Matter of personal preference, I suppose. I think it looks pretty cool though. And then flipping around to the back here, you have this really, really premium look. When I first got it, these thin straps had me a bit worried, but it has been really, really comfortable and definitely not a sacrifice of comfort for the aesthetics. It's held up surprisingly well in that comfort department, considering how thin these straps are. We have these nice metal studs that kind of keep it in place. It just has a really, really nice premium look and feel with all of the exterior finishings. In addition to that, you do also have this sliding pocket here, so you can slide it over your luggage. Really, really handy for folks that carry multiple bags. I do on occasion, but I'm typically a one-bag traveler. This bag is a little bit small for that kind of one-bag travel mentality, but if you're going on a night or two trip, I think it would fare pretty well. Let me get this opened up here. I've kind of packed it out with an overnight trip or maybe a weekend trip's worth of stuff. You can see, actually, I'll start with the back compartment here. You have a really nice back laptop compartment, so you have a little bit easier access if you're going through TSA. I will say though, you don't get any sort of padding or kind of soft material here. It's kind of a similar nylon to what's on the exterior. So if you're really worried about scratching up your devices, you might want to get a sleeve. For me though, it's soft enough, and as long as you don't catch it on the zippers, I don't think you really are going to have any problems. I was actually able to fit quite a bit in here. So you have an extra slot here. You could put a second laptop if you wanted, but you can put something like an iPad, has room to spare. Right here I have just a single outfit packed into one of the Amazon Basics packing cubes. So if you do want to bring some extra clothes with you, or keep clothes on your carry-on if you're checking the rest of your luggage, always a good idea. But yeah, you're able to fit that along with a water bottle or thermos holder here. It's this interesting design. I don't really know how I feel about it. You have this little fabric sleeve that kind of helps keep your water bottle upright and in place. I think it's one of those things, in theory, it is really nice. I found it a little bit cumbersome in practice, but all in all, I would rather have it there than not have it there. So take that for what it is. It keeps the clean look of not having an exterior water bottle pocket, but you're also able to secure your drink so it's not tipping and spilling if you're not so sure if it's sealing up well. You're able to fit a pretty decent sized bottle in here. I just have my Zodrushi thermos. Unfortunately, my 1 liter hydro flask will not fit in this sleeve. It's just a little bit too wide. If you do find yourself having to buy water at the airport, this kind of smart water bottle size that's a liter does fit in here pretty nicely and snugly. So if you are at the airport buying water, or if you carry something like this around with you during the day, it would hold up in there fine. You just can't fit that full liter size hydro flask, unfortunately. So I have that change of clothes in there. I also have my little DOP kit that's clear, so the TSA doesn't have to dig through all of my stuff. Flipping this around here for you to see on the front, you have a little compartment here that you're able to keep some kind of quick access items. I just have my AirPods and my wallet. You can also keep, like a passport or something in here. It's nice to keep that stuff on the inside as opposed to exterior pockets, just for security purposes. So you have that little pocket there, and then you just have the one logo. I don't know if you can see that or not. You just have the one logo here on the inside. Really, really nice touch. I always appreciate the subtlety in the branding. You do also have these two nice clasps where you're able to store keys. I put my keys on here. I'll be honest though, I don't really use this on a day-to-day, but just because I'm on foot, so I don't really drive or have car keys or anything with me, I usually keep my house key actually inside of my wallet. But you are able to use this if you have, like a lanyard or something you want to affix to your bag. This is probably something that won't stay on there for me, but it is nice to have these hooks just because that opens up a lot of versatility for the inside of the bag. So that is about it for the inside. One last thing I forgot to touch on this exterior pocket here. You don't have any extra organization, but you are able to keep things, if you're using this for travel, especially considering the suitcase sleeve, you're probably going to be using this as a carry-on bag and then checking your other luggage. You can keep things like sunglasses and snacks and a battery pack, things like that in this front compartment. Things that you're not going to be sad if they get stolen, pickpocketers and things like that. You always have to be careful when you're traveling. Really, really nice, simple, clean design. Not a ton of built-in organization, but that is just a matter of personal preference. I do like the simpler organization features compared to a bunch of pockets I'm never going to use. And also on the comfort front, I touched on it a little bit earlier, but I've been carrying this around as my daily driver for the last month or so, and it's been surprisingly comfortable. A lot of times when you see bags like this, it's a big sacrifice of comfort for the aesthetics, especially with these thin straps here, but it's held up really well. I think part of that, with this kind of smaller capacity being 25 liters, it's going to be difficult to weigh you down too much. So it kind of helps keep that weight in check, and it carries really, really well. I did also want to touch on the water resistance. Like I said, I picked up the nylon because I wanted that extra because I live in Portland and walk everywhere on foot. I did a couple of tests out in the rain just going about my errands, and it held up really, really well. I was at the grocery store and actually stopped and snapped a picture to put up here, but it did a really good job of kind of beating off the water on the top. You could tell it was definitely working with that resistance. After I brought it back home though, I didn't end up drying off the bag or anything, and I noticed after about 20 or 30 minutes there was a little bit of wetness on the underside. So make no mistakes, it's not waterproof, but in light rain conditions or just shorter times in the rain, I think this would fare perfectly fine, and I would be comfortable carrying my camera in here in just some light rain out on the streets. So all in all, really, really solid bag. I hadn't heard of Haerfest before they reached out to me, and I've just been very impressed. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on the future with them. I would definitely recommend, if you're in the market for something like this, kind of a small-ish capacity travel bag or a bag to take to the office, nice and professional, clean, minimal design. They're selling them on Amazon and directly on their site. I'll put links to both down in the description. But thank you guys all so much for watching. Let me know, what bag are you carrying these days? I'd love to hear about it. I've been falling into a good groove reviewing these backpacks over the last few years, and always have a ton of fun, organizing and fitting things in. So I'd love to hear about your setup down below, and be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. But I'll talk to everyone next week. Have a good one.